I break down at Walthamstow Station. A bus station employee gets me to the Leighton custody suite, where they tell me they've decided to change it to West Yorkshire. Okay. So, because I had fallen asleep on the tube that morning because I'd been up all night, I will put a blog post underneath that outlines the PTSD problem that I've been dealing with, because this is background noise. What I'm describing in these videos is the background noise while I have to deal with that. I can't do this. So Caroline's sock puppeting goes into overdrive, and so does Posey Parker's spreading of Caroline's bullshit. On the 2nd of August, I confront Posey Parker directly. And I lose solidarity from Edith Bright. Well, tough shit, I don't want it. I really don't want solidarity that involves me putting your mate's ability to have their harmful behaviour remain unspoken over the safety of my child, because that's not solidarity, it's disturbing. Posey Parker confirms she's behind the latest use of Caroline Farrow. She asks about Farrow staying at my house directly, so directly references conversations that she's seen with, not which narcissists do. I'll include the post. The 4th of August, Caroline's sock puppets show up on my thing, on my blog. They sent the police round to my house. Once I posted that I couldn't prosecute, they sent the police to my house to do a welfare visit. That was Caroline, and then she said, oh, I'm going to send a CPN round, and then Children's Services turned up. And they saw my daughter. So, enough is enough. Now, Children's Services were not a problem because I'm an excellent mother. But this is a problem. So, I'm not making these videos because I want your solidarity. I don't. If you have helped facilitate this in the last 10 months, I don't give a fuck what you think. These videos are, to be clear, my work predated self-ID. Was done last November. I will be coming back to YouTube. I'll be discussing the post-war settlement unravelling. I'll be discussing the consolidation of these duties. I'll be discussing women. What I will not be discussing is the reproduction of that toxicity online through self-ID and what those women did. Nor am I asking for your adjudication. I am not to be involved in Mrs. Farrow's internet fantasy anymore. Caroline Farrow is a very dangerous, malicious fantasist. Her focus on me is disturbing in the terms of its length, the intensity of it, the continued focus on trying to prevent me earning a living, the continued generation of an exacerbation of the risks of violence. Now, I am grateful to Caroline for demonstrating that pathology and not ideology was what was driving that policy reflex, but I am not connected to this woman. And it does not matter how many times you place me in the middle of her internet theatre, I am not responsible when it comes falling down around her. And to the people whose solidarity is dependent on that, it's not solidarity, love. You need to get your internet use into perspective. Now, regards to Karen Ingala Smith, there is no question that I harassed Karen. However, this occurred a week after a meeting at the House of Lords. This was not a social movement. My daughter attended that meeting and Ruth Sawatka shook her hand. I will be addressing that. I am not interested in the comedy noise of Caroline Farrow and Posey Parker, who clearly just want to be the reflective, I don't know, the seal for that. I am interested in the silence around the use of the House of Lords to do that. But it's not acceptable. Now, if you believe that we are connected by self-ID, by Twitter, then you are mistaken. I am not to be contacted by a single person I met through self-ID. We have no connection at all. I thank you for the demonstration of where trans rights activism came from. I thank you for the demonstration of how women are marginalised. I thank you, but I already knew. This ain't new shit to me. We are not connected and you do not contact me. Period. Now, these videos are basically about showing what happened in the period. I suppose they're useful. I don't think they're useful at all. I resent having to do them. This is my third attempt. So I'll be signing off now. I'll never look at this playlist again. Although I have to go and make it into a fucking playlist. Now, after this, I will be coming back to YouTube. But to discuss things I want to discuss. There will be no comments. There will be no social interaction. I will just be talking about the things that I want to talk about. I resent being made part of the internet theatre of these women. And whatever you think your role is, I do not really care. We are not connected. And I'm not to be contacted by a single woman involved in self-ID. At all. Period.